Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Apollonia Ponti. I hope I'm saying her name right, but you guys have been asking me to react to her for quite a while now, and most of the reactions I've done have been to men creators, so I think it will be very interesting to hear if we kind of have similar viewpoints on things, since she is also a woman giving dating and relationship advice. So let's get started. The video that I'm going to be reacting to specifically is how to get a woman to think about you non-stop. 3 powerful ways. So before I jump into it, I do also want to say a lot of the videos that I've seen like this are sort of manipulative. I know I've seen some TikToks about this that I don't necessarily agree with. So I'm hoping that she has a healthy, mature approach to kind of creating attraction and getting someone to think about you. So let's see what she has to say.
How to get a woman to think about you non-stop. Hey guys, I'm Apollonia Ponti, your dating and relationship coach that helps men get results and master your attraction skills. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get a woman to think about you non-stop. This starts with the emotional connection that you were able to connect with her. Emotional connection does not mean that you get over emotional and talk about your deepest desires early on. The emotional connection means you show her that you are the guy that she wants. So the time you spend with her is very important to the attraction phase. Make this time fun, light, and make your presence known. So in this video is going to be more about how to get her to continue thinking about you once you are in that stage of spending time together and now you want her to think about you even more. Tip number 1, do not be predictable. This is the most important out of all of them. You want to show an imbalance so she knows that she still has to attract you, that she still has to do some work to get you. Meaning if you text her good morning or good night all the time, then don't do it too much anymore. See if she starts to do this. Also, don't respond too early to her texts. Make her wait and get excited to see your name pop up on her phone. Tip number 2 is be mysterious.
Okay, I see where she's coming from. I'm gonna kind of word it in a different way so it's not so manipulative. I think when you're getting to know someone, it is important to leave a little to be desired, leave a little room for mystery, but also be clear about your expectations and what you want from someone. She might be talking more about a sexual relationship with someone, like if you just want a hookup or something like that. But I think when you're looking to be in a relationship with someone or get to know someone on a deeper level, you really want to create a safe and secure place for the both of you where it's not unpredictable and chaotic, because the girls that will thrive in those unpredictable and chaotic environments are not women that you're going to want to be in a long-term relationship with. So that's something to keep in mind as well. However, I do agree with the fact that the woman that you're talking to should be reciprocating the things that you're putting in. So if you're texting her first all the time, if she's not really putting in any effort or reciprocating any of the time and energy that you're putting into her, she needs to start doing that too, because it's a two-way street. And I think that just because you're the man does not mean that you should be carrying the weight of the entire relationship on your shoulders, and she should be putting in some effort as well. And I do think there's something to be said about being unpredictable. I don't think that's necessarily emotionally unpredictable. I think just kind of making things more fun and spontaneous can be really great for the beginning of a relationship as well. So say you go out on a first date with someone and you guys were just supposed to grab lunch and then go your separate ways. If the date went really well, you could say, hey, I'm gonna go grab a coffee. Do you wanna join me there? And just show that you can think on your feet and continue the date in a fun and spontaneous way that's going to make her think about it afterwards. I did a video with a group of girls and they all said the most memorable first date they had was when something spontaneous happened, where the guy kind of thought on his feet and it continued and it was just a really great time. So making things spontaneous and fun is definitely a way to make things less boring and predictable, but I don't think being emotionally unpredictable is necessarily the best advice if you're going for a relationship. If you're going for a hookup, you can do whatever the heck you want, because chances are it doesn't really matter. Actually, the worse you are, probably the better in a hookup scenario, but I think it is important to be clear about your expectations and what you're looking for.
Let her wonder what you are doing. Do not post everything that you're doing every single second on Instagram or on Facebook, like what you're eating, who you're going out to dinner with, where you're at for happy hour. Instead, post less if you are active on social media. Also, being mysterious means temporarily disappearing. You don't want to disappear for too long, but disappear long enough where it gets you wondering what you are up to. So if it takes you a whole day to reply to her morning text, and then at night you finally text her back and say, I've had such a busy day. I hope your day was great, and I'm going to head to bed as I have a long day tomorrow. I'll talk to you soon, and good night.
That is actually a very good message to send, but I don't think it should be this like diabolical plan in your head to purposely not text her for the entire day. I think you should just be busy enough to where you don't feel the need to constantly text her, or that you need to be talking to her 24/7, because that's not healthy. I think it's totally fine to, you know, if you're working all day, not text her during the day and then send her a sweet message at night or something like that, to where you let her know that you were busy, but also you didn't sit there and text her all day long if you had things going on. I think when you text someone all day and you don't leave any room for imagination or mystery, like I said, you can sometimes come across as clingy and needy. So to avoid that, just go about your daily life and don't worry about talking to someone all the time or being so readily available for them. You should have your own life too, and it shouldn't be in a way that, you know, you have to think about, well, I'm not going to text her for 5 hours so that she's wondering where I'm at. Just live your life. Just have a life with, you know, fulfillment and purpose, to where you get to it when you get to it, but you still make someone a priority, but you have other things going on as well. This is the issue that I have with this kind of advice, and she seems great so far. I don't want to make her seem like a bad guy, but it's like the toxic TikToks that I reacted to, where the girl was saying to like create pleasure and pain and drop him in the desert without any communication, and then text him back and say that you were with someone but not who you were with, to make him wonder what you were doing. It's like, if I have to play all those games and be immature and insecure like that, I don't want it. We've only got time for healthy and mature relationships here. So I'm gonna live my life, but I'll let you know that you're important to me, and I'll text you at night to tell you that I had a busy day, but I hope you had a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Like, it doesn't have to be so diabolical.
This message shows her she is not your priority, and women love this. They see you have a life that you love, and it shows stability, which leads me into tip number 3. Tip 3 is do this a couple times. Not just once, but there are some dating coaches that will tell you to go off the radar for 3 days or 4 days or even 5 days. But let's be honest, if this woman is attractive and has her pick, she isn't going to be turned on by this because it just seems shady.
Yep,
you just have to pop in and out, but on your terms, because you are the busy one. Keep this up for about 3 days. Once you start engaging in conversation again, she is going to be thinking, what are you really doing? She might think things like, does he have another girl? What is he doing that he is so invested in that he isn't giving me the time of day? This stands out from a lot of other men and what they're doing right now. Remember, you want to be less predictable during this time, which enhances her attraction towards you. I mean, most of the time, this girl might even say, when am I going to see you again? When you reach back out to her again. And this is where you want her to be. So tip number 4 is making the plans after being busy.
Okay, I just want to touch on that last point. I think she made some good points in there. I think the key takeaway here is to live a life where you have your own things going on and you're not relying on this girl or hanging out with this girl all the time or being so readily available to hang out with her. This is not to play games and to be manipulative. Again, like I said, it's just to show that you have your own life going on. I think it's important, regardless of if you're single or in a relationship, to have some sort of your own life going on to where you don't need that other person. You don't feel clingy to that other person, and you're not just like ready to hang out with them all day, every day. You should have your own things going on. You should have your own interests and hobbies that keep you occupied and busy, because it's gonna make her feel safe and secure about, you know, your ambition. Girls like a guy that has hobbies and interests. That's like one of the most attractive things a guy can do, regardless of what the hobby is. Just having things that keep you busy, having a job that keeps you busy, having interests and passions and hobbies are all very attractive things that you should be doing, not to necessarily attract someone, but just for yourself. And again, it shouldn't be you doing those things to be manipulative. It should be just that you're busy and living your life and you don't have time to hang out with her 24/7. That's not healthy.
Clarify a little bit of what I mean. You want to pop in here and there, but be less attentive during this 3 or 4 day time, meaning not replying to her texts a lot, not replying to her messages a lot, and just blowing her off because you're busy. Tip number 4 is making plans after being busy. When you start chatting with her again, just let her know that you've been busy with work, but also focus the conversations on what she's been up to and not always about you. You don't want to fully answer her questions because it brings more mystery to her. Once you do this, schedule something with her eventually and not right away. Why? The time that passes will get her excited to see you again. That time is critical to the attraction phase. Say something like this. Hey, I'm busy the next 2 days, but have some time on Friday night. Would you like to grab a drink around 7? I encourage all of my clients to do this because you don't want to become that text messaging buddy. Make sure your text messages are simple.
You don't want to be the texting buddy. You don't want to be the attention fill-in guy. You want to be a man with a plan. You should be texting with a goal in mind. I don't have time to text 24/7. I don't know about you guys, but I would be so annoyed if someone was trying to talk to me all day, every day. I don't have time for that. Maybe when you're younger, I think that's a little bit more normal. But if you're an adult with responsibilities, a job, interests, hobbies, if you let them know that, you're making time for them later in the week, but you're busy and you have things going on, it's going to make her very excited for that time. When I started dating my boyfriend, he was very busy. I was in college and he had a full-time big boy job. And I thought it was so attractive that he was busy during the week and had things going on, but then was still making time for me at the end of the week, like during his free time. Like, you're so busy, but in your free time, you're making time for me. That makes me feel special. That makes me excited. You don't have to be readily available every single day of the week. Just let them know that they're still important enough to you to set apart a special time for them.
To the point and close-ended most of the times. By not making yourself so available will give her enough time to miss you and want to see you again. This is how you stick out in her mind. If a woman is not reciprocating any of this, then she might not be interested. If you are struggling with this attraction phase and you have your eye on a specific woman that you want right now and you just don't know how to do it, then I invite you to reach out to me for a private coaching session so I can give you the step-by-step process on how to do this and also point out what it is that you're doing wrong.
Okay, that's nice. She offers personal coaching. Let's see. Okay, so there were a lot of things in that video that I agreed with, maybe just not necessarily the explanation or the reasoning behind it. I do believe that video was a couple years ago, so I'm sure that her more recent content is a little bit different, but I wanted to pick one of her more popular videos because obviously more of you have seen it, more of you are probably taking that advice. So I'll definitely check out a couple more of her videos, but she gave pretty good examples also, which I really liked, of some like one-liners to say if you guys need a little bit of help with that. I like that she's calm, collective, kind of like me, not screaming at you, not being all weird on camera. I think as a woman I can appreciate that. But yeah, I'll definitely have to check out more of her content. That was a good video. Again, I don't always agree with everything that someone says in a video, but that doesn't mean that they don't give great advice. I'm sure the rest of her advice is really great as well. Just from that one little video clip, it seems like she knows what she's talking about, even though I didn't necessarily agree with some of the reasonings behind it, but that's just because I don't really do the manipulation tactics or like the playing game stuff. I think that's a waste of time, in my opinion. So same thing goes for you guys. You probably watch my content and don't necessarily agree with 100% of the things that I say, but that's okay because we're each our own individual humans with different thoughts and opinions, and my opinions should never take away from yours and vice versa. So we can all think of things different ways and do things different ways and still coexist nicely with each other and be respectful, which is the approach that I always try to take. I think being respectful and mature is the least you can do even when you do disagree about things. Another thing I want to point out as well, it seems like her approach is more about attraction, maybe sexually or like a pickup artist type thing, maybe even, for people that are into hookups and not necessarily relationships. So do be aware of that when you're looking at content of what exactly it is that you want want out of it. If you're a guy that wants a healthy, happy relationship, my content is probably one of the better options out there. I don't really talk about playing games or manipulation tactics or all of that kind of thing because I'm going for a more healthy, mature approach. But again, I talk mostly about relationships and developing a deeper, more meaningful connection with someone versus just like hookup culture and all of that kind of stuff. So again, keep that in mind when you're viewing content. What exactly is it that you want to get out of it? It's important to make sure that you're watching the right person for the results that you want. So again, she seems really lovely. I'll be sure to watch more of her videos as well to get a better idea of kind of what she's all about. But if you guys liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys on there, and it's just a great place to get to know me a little bit better if that's something that you're interested in. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.